All right, hello ladies, welcome to today's tapping circle. My name is Tina and I'm your coach for today, and we're going to tap on emotional eating. First, a little bit of housekeeping. Those of you who've been here before know this probably already, but we're going to tap together with food if you have it. If you don't have food ready to go right now, no problem. I'll explain in a minute how we do that. The meeting is recorded, and you will find the recording within a few days in your membership area under Tapping Circle. So if you like, you can go back and watch it again. During the course of our tapping, I would like you to keep your microphones muted so that we don't have so much background noise. However, if you have a question or you need my help, you can raise your hand. That is either with the Zoom hand. If you're on a computer, it's at the bottom of your screen and it says raise hand, and I assume it's in a similar place on a mobile device or an iPad. I'm gonna mute everybody except for me. So yeah, if you want to talk to me, so raise your virtual hand, or if you are okay with turning a camera on and you can't find the raise hand button, you can also just wave at me. And if none of that works, you can also unmute yourself. But I would like to ask you not to do this during the tapping. I will check in with you as we go. So what else do we need to mention beforehand? That's pretty much it. In general, if you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. I love to have a good group. Today we're a little bit smaller, but yeah, we have a few ladies who watch the recording. Now, as I said, today's topic is emotional eating. That is one of the big weight loss blockers we have. And in general, we distinguish emotional eating from cravings. What's cravings? Well, cravings is when we want to eat and we want to have the food because we are going towards a good memory. We want good feelings that are stuck in the food. For example, if you eat chocolate chip cookies because you used to bake them with your grandma, and those cookies now, they represent your grandma's love. So if you're stressed and you're looking for some love, you go for the cookies. One hallmark for craving is also that it's usually a very specific food, meaning it might be just chocolate chip cookies, but oatmeal raisin won't float your boat, or even a very specific type of chocolate chip cookies, just one brand, but not the other. On the other hand, the emotional eating we'll be working on today, that is where we eat to go away from negative emotions. And this is usually triggered by memories, by old events that are somewhat subconscious. That's why we use the push the food away technique to get to those memories and heal those. And usually with emotional eating, we just need something to stuff our face with, and it doesn't really matter what it is. I mean, of course, if you're a chocolate lover, chocolate will usually be your first choice. But if there's no chocolate in the house, probably some cheese or the can of beans or some cookies will do as well. So we have cravings going towards positive memories, usually a specific food, and emotional eating going away from negative memories and negative feelings. Usually it doesn't matter so much what the heck you're eating. It is possible that one food is associated both with good and bad memories. So meaning if you use one technique and you still find yourself eating that food, it's worth trying the other technique. If you set out and plan, okay, I want to tap on cravings today and I have my food, but a negative memory comes up, no big deal, you just switch techniques. Negative memory means we go into the push the food away echo tapping, or if you start out pushing the food away and then you remember something positive, you can switch over to the ball of light. So those are basically just tools in our toolbox. We can switch back and forth between the techniques. But today we're going to do a push the food away, which means we are most likely looking for some not so fun old memories. And how we do this is, if you have food in front of you, get it ready. If you don't have food in front of you, or it's not your time of day, where you are used to overeating. I know you guys are mostly in the US, so it's probably lunchtime for most of you. For me, it's evening, but doesn't really matter. So, but if, for example, you're an evening eater and now at lunchtime you're not so much into the food, doesn't matter. Think yourself back to the typical situation when you usually want to have the food. So, for example, if your thing is coming home from work, the first thing is you kick off your shoes, you put on your sweats, and you grab a bag of chips. Put yourself in that situation. If you don't have a typical situation where you overeat, you can also think yourself back to the last time you binged, be it yesterday, last week, or whenever, and basically try to put yourself in that situation and imagine the food you ate back then in front of you and how much you wanted it. So those are ways how we can basically work even if we don't have the food right in front of us. In general, things that are good to have in addition to the food is something to drink, because it's important to stay hydrated during tapping. You might want something to take some notes, like a piece of paper and a pen. If you have a big aha moment or something comes up that needs further tapping that we can't cover here today in 1 hour, you can just write it down and deal with it in your next tapping session or whenever you watch the recording again. And then it's also good to have your trusty anger pillow or rolled up blanket in case we need to let off some steam. And I'll show you what to do with that if you haven't done anger work before when we get to that point. Or it could be a rolled up sweatshirt, anything soft. I sometimes use this little inflatable ball if I want to punch something. So be creative, but get something soft so you don't hurt yourself if you're manhandling it. All right. And then how does it work with the push the food away? Basically, we get our desire for the food up because that kind of opens the book and shows us the memory that is ready up front to be healed. And that means it's a younger version of ourselves. And younger version can mean childhood, but it can also mean yesterday or earlier today. If whatever, something got your goat earlier at work, maybe that's the thing that comes up. But basically what we want to do is, after we push the food away, we want to listen in our body. Where do I feel this uncomfortable feeling? How do I know that I want the food? What am I trying to cover up with the food? Where's this yucky, icky that I don't want to feel? Because that's where the magic is. That's where the information is. Tapping is not so much about the words we say, even though we use words and I'll guide you through that, but it's more about feeling the feeling, because that's usually how our body, our brain, our subconscious mind communicates with us. And that's what we're trying to stuff down with the food, right? And that's what's working. We get rid of that uncomfortable feeling by putting something in our mouth, and then couple minutes later, we kind of wake up out of this trance and we wonder, oh, why is this box of cookies empty? I just wanted to eat one of them, right? Anybody done that in the past? So yeah, that's kind of, we are using the food to push the feelings down, to numb ourselves so we don't have to deal with them. But now we're basically inviting those feelings to come up so we can work with them and actually heal them. That means we're going to have to feel them one more time. But basically, the feeling moves them up and out. So then after that, they're usually gone if you can tap them down to something below a 2 or so. Okay, so basically, once we pushed away the food, we're listening to the uncomfortable feeling, and that takes us back in time. And Brittany always asks, how old are you? How old do you feel? And some people hear or see a number, but I must admit, I'm not one of those people. Getting the age for me was really, really difficult in the beginning, and that is not a problem. So there are some other questions we can ask, and I'll guide you through that. Basically, what we want to listen to is, does this feel familiar? Have you felt this before? And then just listen and see if your brain throws up some sort of memory. That could be like an image, that could be like a little movie clip, that could be excessively thinking about one person. That could be smelling, hearing something. And whatever is coming up, It might not even be a real memory, like a movie scene out of your life. It could be some like a metaphorical thing, like in a dream. So Brittany tells the story that she once felt like she was a rock floating through the universe. That was probably not in this lifetime. God knows what this was. Maybe it was just her brain associating some images with that feeling that she had, but she tapped with it and it worked. I found myself floating in the ocean once, and I'm pretty sure I have never been floating in the ocean, like completely submerged in this lifetime before either. It might feel like a dream. It might feel like a past life memory. It might be something. Sometimes my little self just shows up in a very dark room without windows. That also doesn't exist in real life. But it has a meaning. It's basically an image your brain puts to the feeling you're having. So don't worry if it's a real memory or if it's something you feel like you're making up. Just work with it. As long as you can interact with it, our brain knows what to do with it. And yeah, basically, we're going to meet our younger self and we're going to help her out. And I will guide you through that. Now, part of the push the food away, the echo tapping process is that Brittany guides us to step inside of our younger self. Basically, first walk up to her and then step inside of her body. Now, that has value, and that especially when we deal with body boundary violations, where something happened that made us feel uncomfortable in our body, stepping inside of that younger version of ourselves helps process those feelings and basically clean them out. However, it's not a big deal if you can't do that today. That might take some practice, taking a couple of layers off before you're able to do that, and that's not a big deal. If you can see your younger self and you cannot step inside of her body and it feels like, oh, I don't want to, or there's like a plexiglass wall or some sort of resistance, just stick with that feeling, tap and breathe and feel it. That's basically already chipping away at whatever is underneath there. Also, if you can't step inside of little you's body, no big deal. You just step into the scene as your adult self, and you can just take your little one by the hand, you can hug her, and then basically help her like a parent or like an adult helper. And I'm gonna guide you through all this. I just wanted you to know if you can't step inside her body, it's no big deal. We can still work. So we do have a chat box here. If you like to share your numbers, we'll be rating the strength of our feelings, and you don't have to share this. You can just write it down for yourself. That's a way of tracking the intensity of our feelings. And this also doesn't have to be an accurate number. It's just an approximate that we can compare. Is it getting higher, lower, staying the same? If you want to share or any insights, feel free to type it in the chat box. I'll try to keep one eye on the chat box, but guiding you, doing the tapping, I might miss something. So if there's anything important, use the raise hand and talk to me. But if you want to share with the group, it's a nice way to experience that it's not just you and you're not alone, because all of us are having the same issues here. So yeah, that's my invitation. You don't have to do it. Also, I love to see some friendly faces, but of course it's your choice if you want to turn your camera on or not. While you're tapping, you can keep your eyes open. That is usually a way to keep the intensity a little bit at bay, because it somewhat keeps you a little bit in the present moment. I like to close my eyes while I'm tapping, and I might do that here because it helps me. It's just a reflex. Already, it's kind of automatic for me because I've been doing it for so long. It helps me to tune in and to find those memories, because then I'm not distracted by what I'm seeing around me. So if you choose to close your eyes, but you're feeling your emotions are getting a little bit hot, a little bit too quickly, the simplest way is to just open your eyes and slowly look around your room and basically see where you are while you keep tapping and breathing. And in general, whatever happens, keep tapping and breathing. Even if you kind of stop the movie you're working on, the memory, you can come out at any time if it feels too much, but keep tapping. Keep tapping, keep breathing. That's the main part, because any tapping will lower your stress and will help you heal. So that's basically, that was a bit of a long monologue here, but I felt like we might have a couple new people, and those are some important things to get to you before we start. So grab your food if you have it, and we're gonna get started. So you might want to look at it, you might want to smell it, really try to get the desire up. You might even have a little bite of it, and if you don't have a food, you can think yourself back to the last time you binged or to the time of day where you usually overeat, and you're invited to close your eyes, then imagine the food, and yeah, on a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you want your food? And feel free to share in the chat if you like. So 0 is, I could just put it back in the fridge or in the pantry, and 10 is, oh my God, I have to inhale the whole thing in this moment. And see what you get. Take a note of your number. 7 or 10, good, yeah. We want the desire to be up, another 7, so because then we have the emotions ready to go. Okay, have one last look at it, really, really feel how much you want that lovely, delicious food in front of you. And then take your 2 hands and push it away from you. If you have raw food, push it away out of reach on your table. If you are working with virtual food, thinking about it, do the motion, but imagine in your imagination pushing the food away. And tell yourself, I'm not going to eat that. And tell yourself, I'm not going to eat that right now, but I'm also not going to eat that later. Because sometimes you have that little voice that says, yeah, not now, but in an hour I will. No, not in an hour. We're not going to eat this tonight either. We're not going to eat it tomorrow either. We're not going to eat it at all. And then sit and feel in your body. What's coming up? Is there like, oh shit, fuck you, no, what? I want the food. Where do you feel it? And you can start tapping the karate chop point if you want. Some people, myself included, like to tap the karate chop point to tune in, because that already lowers my stress level, and for me that helps me find a memory. But if you feel like that's taking the edge off and makes it harder for you to keep going, you don't have to start tapping yet. But feel that feeling. Look at the food out of reach, not eating that today, not eating that tomorrow, and feel that yucky feeling that, oh, wherever it is, however it feels like. Just pay attention to how it feels like. Is it like a rock in your stomach, or some twisted thing in your throat, or do you feel like your heart is jumping out of your chest? How do you know you want that food? How do you know you're not comfortable right now? And then feel that feeling. Give yourself permission to just sit here with it just a short moment. And then let that feeling take you back in time. Have you felt like this before? Does this feel familiar? Does this remind you of something or someone? And whatever comes up, if it feels real or not, go with whatever comes. When has this happened in the past? Can you pinpoint an emotion that goes with it? How old do you feel? Do we get maybe a little movie clip, an image, an idea of somebody who was involved? Can you see your younger self? Start tapping through the points. Can you see a younger version of yourself in front of you? If not, stick with the feeling, that's okay. If you see a younger self, maybe now you can tell what your age is. Yeah, we have a 10 to 12 years old, yeah. And it doesn't have to be exact. Can you walk towards your younger self in your imagination? And notice if there's any resistance, anything that keeps you from approaching your younger self. If you're feeling something resistance, that's okay. Just feel the resistance, keep tapping, and keep seeing your younger self in front of you. And then maybe after a couple seconds of tapping, you can try again. See if you can take one step in front of the other, approaching your younger self. And when she gets within reach, talk to her, say hi, and check if she recognizes you. If she doesn't, maybe introduce yourself and say, hi, I'm you from the future, and I'm here to help you. And that might seem very strange, but that's what I'm here to do. And just see how your younger self reacts. Can she see you? Is she looking at you? Is she happy to see you? Or maybe she's skeptical. In that case, you can talk to her and say, you know what, I know this is really strange and you don't have to trust me right now, but I'm still here to help you. I'm not going to go away. So check if your younger self is okay if you put a hand on her shoulder, letting her know, I'm here to help you. And if she doesn't want that, then don't do it. Can you pick up on the emotion she's feeling already? Can you tell where you are with her and what's going on? And if there are other people in the scene, freeze them. So basically, we give them the magic tranquilizer drops. So they can't move and they can't talk, but they can listen. If you need to take those people and put them in a safer place, for example, you can just put them in handcuffs or behind bars or chain them to the refrigerator or just put up a plexiglass window between you and them, you can do that. Whatever makes it safer to have them somewhere quiet in the background. And then see, can you step inside of your younger self's body if she's okay with that? You can ask her for permission and say, you know what, to help you, I'd like to step inside of your body. Is that okay with you? If you're used to doing the echo tapping and you've done it before, you probably don't need to ask every single time. But if this is your first time, I like to ask for permission. And if she says no, then don't do it. If she says yes, then go ahead. And if you have to shrink yourself or somewhere else and make it fit in your imagination, do it and see if you can get inside of her body so that you're looking through her eyes. And also notice if that brings up resistance. Could happen that you get just in with one leg and then you're stuck or something like that. Just notice what's happening. See if you can get in. If yes, slip inside of her, looking through her eyes. If that's not working for you right now, come back out and just stand next to her as your adult self. Can you pick up that emotion you're feeling, that little you is feeling? Looking around the room, taking in what's going on. Any other people are frozen? Just feel that feeling. Where in your body do you feel it? Just sit with it and tap as you look at the scene and what's going on. And notice if anything shifts while you're tapping and paying attention. This could be that your intensity is going up right now because we're finally paying attention to it versus before we kind of pushed it to the side. So if you were 7 before and now you're 10, that's absolutely fine. Could be that nothing happens, so it's still a 7, or maybe it's already going down. And notice how your body reacts. What we are looking for are little signs of relaxation. So maybe you feel compelled to take a deep breath or sigh, or maybe you're yawning, or my eyes like to water. Or maybe your shoulders melt a little bit, not so tense anymore. Just keep tapping, feeling those feelings. And see if there's anything you need to say about that situation. Maybe you want to say, that's so unfair, that's not right. Maybe you just want to let out a scream. And if you're in an apartment building, you might want to use your pillow. If you want to scream, you can scream in your pillow. Maybe you want to make some noises, just like whatever it is. I'm seeing some good yawns right there. Okay. If you're alone, is there maybe a person that's missing that should be there? You can bring them in and freeze them. And if you have a person in your memory that's either there or that should have been there when they weren't, talk to them and tell them how their action make you feel. You can say, when you do this, that makes me feel. Yeah. And if there's strong emotions coming up, just keep tapping and breathing and feel them. It's very common that maybe some tears are coming. Just give those space. Tapping and breathing, feeling it. Anything else you want to say in that situation to the people in your memory? What was not okay? Tell them. Good. All right. Let's take a breath. And feel your feet on the floor and your butt on the chair while you're here sitting tapping. And you might want to open your eyes, look around for a moment where you are in this moment. Let's take a break. Shake it out. Maybe stretch, see if your body wants to move. Maybe you want to kick your legs or get up, walk around. Now is also a good time to have some water or tea. It's good to every now and then stop, shake the energy off. It's like a little bit of reset, and then we're going to check back in a moment. So now, whenever you're ready, tune back in, check how big your emotion was in the beginning, and now check back in what is left. Did your number go up? Did it go down? Did it shift and change? And focus on the original emotion. Sometimes emotions change. For example, you were sad first and now you're frustrated, or you feel abandoned and then you feel sad. Check with the first emotion and give it a number. And see, where was it before? Where are you now? And if you want to share in the chat, feel free to do that, or just write it down for yourself. 3 now, good. Going down, awesome. All right. And then tune into your body, feel what is left. Where is it? Is it still in the same place? What changed in the feeling in your body? Did it change in intensity? I mean, if your number went down, it probably did. Did it change in texture? Maybe it feels less dense. Did it move around? Does it feel less hot, less cold, less solid? Did it change color? And whatever's left, focus on that and start tapping again. And you can directly go to tapping through the points. Give that feeling permission to be there. And then check back in with your memory, with your scene. So see if you're inside your little one's body or if you're standing next to her, it doesn't matter. Look at those people in your memory or the people you wished were there. And can you bring them a little closer? They still can't talk, they still can't move. Is there anything else you want to tell them? And I want you to particularly pay attention to whether there's a little bit of frustration or the feeling of this wasn't fair, or even outright anger at what they did to you or how they abandoned and left you somewhere without support. Can you tap into that "it's not fair, this wasn't okay" feeling? If so, they're still frozen, they still can't talk or move, but they're listening. Tell them this was not okay. This was not fair. And put a little bit of oomph behind this. And tell them how you feel about it, how pissed off you are. Feeling anger can be difficult, but basically anger is the emotion that tells us something wasn't fair and we deserve better. So now give that a voice. Say, you know what, it wasn't okay that you left me alone all evening. And I had nobody comforting me and I was afraid all night. Maybe it wasn't okay that you hit me. And I'm angry with you about that. Say it in your own words, give it a little bit of oomph. The more energy you can put in your voice, the more energy you can use to move that frustration, anger, unfair feeling through, the faster it will disappear. And if you're really, really frustrated and angry, grab your trusty anger toy, your pillow, your rolled up blanket, and what do you want to do to that person? Maybe you want to shake them and go like, oh, this wasn't fair. Or you can just shake your hands if you don't have anything. Maybe you want to punch them, punch the air, punch your pillow. Maybe you want to slap them and go, oh, you stupid bitch. Or you want to put your pillow on your lap and just pound it, or you can smash it on your knees. What does your body want to do with that frustration, anger, unfair feeling? And if you're not dealing with frustration, anger, feeling this was unfair, is there anything else your body wants to do? For example, if you're feeling afraid, maybe your legs want to run away. Can you let your legs run? I mean, you don't even have to get up. You can just kind of pedal your feet or stomp your feet in place, and you can use your arms with it, and then imagine running away. Or do you feel like you want to hide and pull the blanket over your cover? Maybe you want to hug your pillow and hide. Do that. And when you're working with anger or running, yeah, then basically while you're physically moving this energy out, we stop the tapping because usually you probably have your hands full. But it's going to come in a wave. And when you feel like, oh, okay, it's kind of moving out, yeah, there will be a moment where you feel like, oh, I need to catch my breath. This is the moment where you just return to tapping and breathing. Just tap and breathe and feel your feet on the floor and your butt on your chair or whatever is holding you up in space. That is kind of our breather moment here. And that's a good one even if you don't work on an emotion that requires physical action. For example, if you're sad, just tap and breathe for a moment. Feel that feeling in your body, wherever, whatever it is. And can you feel that feeling in your body and at the same time feel your feet on the ground or whatever your feet are touching? Really feel the contact of your body with the environment. Where is your body touching something? Is it your butt? Do you have your back leaning against the backrest? Is it the back of your legs you're feeling pressing into the chair? And then bring your attention while you're still tapping to your breath. Just notice without changing it. And are you breathing maybe a little faster or slower than before? What about your temperature? Are you maybe a little hot or cold? Good. And then let's take another break, shake it out, see if you need to move, if you need to stretch, get up, walk around. If you're still in the midst of it and you're working your anger, your frustration out, keep going by all means. But if you feel like a little break would be good, come back to the present moment, see if you need some water, if you need to just flick the energy off, take it off, make some sounds. Good. You can just look around your room, checking in where you are for a moment. That's always a good one to bring us back to the present moment and kind of pull us out of that memory. And then when you're ready, tune back into your body and see what is left of your original emotion. Or if the emotion has switched, you can write that down too and rate the new emotion, how it was before and how it is now. And again, if you like to share your numbers in the chat, go for it. But definitely notice what's left. Where do you still feel something? Is it more? Is it less? Did it move around? Did it change quality? 0. Awesome. Good, good, good. Yeah. Notice whatever is left. If you don't have anything left, you can still tap and breathe with us. Tune into your body, what's still there, and start tapping again. You can tap the carotid chop for a moment, feel your body. Okay. Is anyone still above a 4? Do we need another round letting off some steam? Because I'm seeing a lot of 2, 3 zeros right now. But if we still have someone who needs another round, I'd like to know. Otherwise, we're moving on to the next part. All right. Okay. Are we focusing on the feeling of the current self or your younger self? I want you to focus on how you're feeling right now. I mean, usually those two are coupled. Usually it's not possible to feel really calm in the here and now when your younger self is still very much in distress. If there's a discrepancy, can you tell me about it? That would help me to figure out what's going on.
Hey, this is Natasha.
Yeah, hey Natasha.
Hi. Yeah, so I'm not super in tune with my current self feeling, but definitely the little one, the baby self was feeling lonely and abandoned, sad. So
Yeah.
All not really
right.
sure when you're saying, oh, what is your level now? Like right now, I'm not
Okay.
feeling those feelings, or maybe I am on some level, but not in tune with them. But the little self, I'm in
Okay. Well, yeah, thank you for clarifying. In that case, go with your little self's feelings.
Okay.
Basically, check whoever one has the stronger feeling and go with that, I'd say.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So tune in with whatever is there. Tap through the points and see your younger self in front of you. We're approaching her again, but this time we're not stepping inside of her body, but we are here to talk to our younger self. And check, what does she need? Does she maybe want a hug? Does she want you to hold her? Does she need support? And if she doesn't, that's okay too. Either way, let her know, I'm here to help you. And I understand how you're feeling. I'm here to protect you now. I love you. You're not alone with this anymore. And I'm sorry that you feel this way. I'm sorry you ever felt this way. Thank you for showing me. And I'm sorry it took me so long to find you. But now I'm here to help. If your little one is skeptical, let her know, yeah, it's your good right to be skeptical. You don't have to trust me. But if she does trust you and she needs that hug, go for it. Whatever happened, it's not your fault. You're such a strong little girl. You might not feel like it, and that's okay. I'm proud of you. I love you. What does your little girl need to hear? What do you want to tell her? Say it in your own words. I'm giving you a little bit of space. What does she need to hear? What does she need to know? What do you want to tell her? What does she need to feel better? And you can even imagine tapping on her little body as you're talking to her to calm her down even more, if that's okay with her. If she's a little bit older, see if it feels good to tap you tapping on her, or you can teach her how to tap on herself, whichever one feels better. Just take a moment to talk to her, to comfort her, to love her, to let her know you're there to support her, keep her safe. You can even ask her, what does she need? What do you need to feel better right now? And listen to what she says, and whatever it is, make it happen. We have fairy tale physics at our fingertips. If she wants a puppy, you can imagine giving her a puppy. If she wants a fire-spitting dragon to protect her, you can give her that. If she wants a magic sword to keep her safe, whatever it is, she knows. And if there's nothing she wants right now, that's okay too. Anything else she needs? Maybe she needs to get to a different place. Can you get her to a safe place, either a real or imagined place? Maybe she wants to get out of that house to the beach, or just far, far away. Make it happen. Is there someone she wants to help? Could be a person, could be a guardian angel, could be a spirit guide, could be her favorite movie character, cartoon character. Any person that feels safe. And if there's nobody, that's okay too. You're still with her. Anything else she needs to hear? Anything else you want to tell her? Maybe you want to tell her, I got you. You're not alone anymore. I'm here to help. I'm not going away. Good. Any last words you want to tell her? And then come back to feeling your feet on the floor while you're tapping your butt on the chair. Feel your breath. Can you feel the cool air entering your nostrils on the inhale? A little bit warmer air exiting when you exhale. Where do you feel your breath traveling in your body? Notice your temperature. Notice if you feel heavier, more in contact with whatever you're sitting on. That's a good sign. It's like more grounding. And then let's take a break, shake it out, stretch, move around, move your legs, roll your shoulders. Check if you need a sip of water, something to drink. Or get up, walk around, a couple steps. Maybe make some noises. Or rub your hands, shake them off. Good. All right. Good work, ladies. And so, whenever you're ready, tune back in and see how that felt. And check on your little self. How's she doing right now?
So
That emotion she had. Oh, Anna, yes, question?
Yeah, sorry. It got very deep and intense, and I actually feel like I want to go eat again, like bread and butter and honey. That brings me back to when I was with my grandmother.
Is that being at your grandmother's a good thing?
Yes.
Or bad thing? Okay. So in that case, that means you're likely having a craving in front of you because you're going towards a good memory. So that means probably not today, because when we've been going very deep, there is an enough. And if you go beyond that point, basically when you feel, it's normal to feel kind of tired and wiped out at the end of a tapping session. And I mean, you can just tap one point or through the points as I'm talking about this if you want. That is pretty normal because we've been going really deep and we've been making big changes that can feel exhausting. I've also had it happen that sometimes I overate after a big tapping session, especially a coached one, because it's kind of a way for the body to reground and resort the energy. So if there's no memory attached with it, just check, let it be, do whatever you got to do after the session, check back in tomorrow. So in a day or two, if the overeating stops, that's good, then it was just a energy processing thing that can happen. But in your case, you said you're thinking of your grandma and it's a good memory. So maybe not tomorrow. If we have a deep session, it's usually good to take one day off, and you can do the small 5-minute neuro reconditioning or just tapping and breathing for a couple minutes. But going into deep session right the next day might be too much too soon. So maybe take a day off, and then I would grab a recording that says cravings and do the ball of light with your grandma and that food.
Okay.
And for anyone else who still has like positive memories popping up right now, like the day after tomorrow, grab that food again and do a ball of light. Because then basically we cleared the negative emotions. Now the next layer comes up, which for you is the positive one. That's one of those cases where you have both attached to the same food. Not to worry, we know what to do. Good question. All right. So then everybody, check back in with your little self. How we're doing? You want to share a number? So hopefully numbers went down. And then tap through the points. And as you're checking in with your younger self, ask her if she wants to come with you. And see what she says. If she doesn't, if she wants to stay where she is right now in that safe space where you maybe took her to, that's okay. A 10, feeling moved from loneliness and abandonment to anger. Okay. All right, if you still have energy, Natasha, and you need to do a couple more rounds of anger work, you can do that. See if you have energy still, do it now. If you feel like, well, I'm already toast, make a note and work on it later. Everybody else, yeah, see if your younger self wants to come with you. If she doesn't, let her know. You can call me at any time and I'll be right back. And maybe there's a way how she can contact you. Some of my students like to give their little one a cell phone so she can call, or maybe a little bell that rings when she needs help, or maybe she wants to make you nose itch. Find something that works for both of you. And if she wants to come with you, shrink her down until she fits into the palm of your hand and place her inside of your heart. And I like to really place one hand on my heart center, and you can keep tapping with your other hand. And feel her inside of your heart. And the space and love that's there for her. And understanding. And can you feel that in your body? And then let little you grow up inside of you. So see her getting older and older. And maybe she's walking through life with a different spring in her step, with all the new knowledge and insights she gained from this tapping today. And if you notice that on the way there are some events that still need some tapping, let her know I see that. I acknowledge that, and we will work on that another time, but for today we've done enough work. And keep growing her up. So you're getting older and older until she reaches present day. I'll just give you a minute or two to feel that, see her growing up, feel her growing up. With that feeling, she's no longer alone because you are there with her. Then when she reaches present day, can you let her merge her body with yours, because she's you and you are her? And can you also let your energy fields merge, like the bubble around you? And then imagine some healing light showering down on you. And you can take yourself to your favorite safe place again. Maybe it feels like sunlight, maybe it's moonlight. You can make it any color you want. You can add sparkles if that floats your boat. Feel that healing light wash over you, over your head, your neck, your shoulders, down your arms, dripping off your fingers. Feel that light wash over your chest, your belly, down your back, over your hips, down your legs and off your feet. And allow that healing light to pick up any remaining little bits and pieces of yuck that we haven't gotten out with the tapping. Maybe there's still some dust specks floating around. Give your body permission to release and let go anything that no longer serves, anything that's ready to leave today. And feel how that healing light is swooping it up. And as it's flowing off your feet, feel how the earth is soaking it up, ready to recycle those energies. And what does this energy turn into? Maybe it's like flowers sprouting, butterflies, soap bubbles, or little hearts. What does the earth turn this energy into? And feel this healing light cleansing you from the outside. And then also allow that healing light to enter your body. Like you're having a little sunroof you're opening on the top of your head, so that this healing light can flood your brain, your whole nervous system, your body, flowing down through your throat, your chest and heart, your stomach, your belly, through your hips, through your legs, and also out of your feet. And give that healing light permission to also cleanse you from the inside. Every cell of your body, picking up anything that's no longer needed. And feel it leaving your body, ready to be recycled. And once that cleansing feels complete, give your body permission to soak up this healing light, like you're charging up a battery. And you can feel every cell of your body drinking in this healing light. And if that healing light could bring a quality, what is it that you need? Do you need love? Do you need peace? Do you need confidence? Do you need safety, peace and calm? Charge up with that healing light and that quality. Can you feel your body taking it in? So much that your body and every cell of your body starts to glow from the inside out, like there's a little light in every cell. And as you're charging up, see your body and every cell of your body is glowing brighter and brighter and brighter with this healing light. Until your body can't contain it anymore. And that healing light is also bursting out of your body and filling the energy field around you. Basically creating a nice, safe, cozy bubble. And how does that feel? Can you feel that inside of your body and around? Does it maybe feel like being wrapped in a really cozy, warm blanket or like sitting by a fireplace? Does it feel like having a nice, safe shield around you that's keeping anything out that you don't want to have inside? I'll just give you a minute to fill up with this healing light and good juju until nothing more fits in for today. So basically, let your battery meter get to 100%. And whenever that's the case, you can stop the tapping and just bring your hands together over your heart space. And just give yourself a moment whenever you're ready, another breath or two, just feeling your body, feeling that good energy in your body. Yeah. And feel your feet on the floor, your butt on the chair one more time. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes, look around where you are in the here and now. And then we have to do one last thing. Get your food again, or your imagined food, and check what's your desire for the food. Do you still want it? And it could be that now, if there's a craving on top or something else, it could be, can you rate your desire for the food and give it a number? And feel free to share again if you like, or write it down for yourself. And we basically have 0. Good, awesome. Yay. Good work, ladies. Another couple of 0 is 6. Okay, something still left. Good, good. Notice if it came down from the beginning. If it's not a 0 and still is something left, notice. Let's check back in one more time. If you are not 0 with your original, with a memory, with your little self in the memory, and see if this is at a 0 or not. If we cleared the memory, but there's still some charge left on the food, that means most likely there's another thing in there. But I wouldn't tap on that right now, unless you're still in the middle of the anger. But usually about an hour is enough. If you're feeling pretty toast right now and ready to take a nap, that's pretty normal. Also, tomorrow, there is a thing we call tapping hangover. If you went really, really deep, it takes some time for our brain to finish the rewiring, and basically our body needs to catch up. So after a deep session, it's possible you feel fantastic tomorrow. That's great, but it's also possible that you're a little tired, that you're a little grumpy, that you're a little like off. And that's a totally normal thing. That doesn't mean that anything is left. It just means there's a little bit of dust still settling. What you can do in that case, try to be gentle with yourself, cut yourself some slack, do something nice for yourself, maybe have a hot bath or your favorite blanket to cuddle up in, and maybe your favorite cup of tea or whatever floats your boat. And you can just tap and breathe for 2-3 minutes. You can do it while going to the bathroom or just sitting in your favorite rocking chair in my case. Just tap and breathe and feel it. That helps clean out these little dust bits that are still settling. And then it should get better after like the next day and the second day. Sometimes it can take 2 days, but it should get better after that. If it doesn't, probably something else in there. Yeah, if you notice there's something else in there and you want to tap again, I would at least take 1 day off to rest. And we call this integration. That's basically finishing the rewiring. Because if you don't, you'll notice you don't even have energy. You probably don't want to tap. Let that be okay. That's probably not resistance unless it goes longer than about 2 days. If after 2 days you still feel like you don't want to tap, you probably have resistance trying to keep you away from the next thing that's bubbling up. But a day or 2 is just still working on the stuff we did today. Okay, do you guys have any more questions? We are at the top of the hour, so if you have to hop off, thank you for being here. If you still have questions, I have a couple more minutes and I'm happy to answer them for you. All right. If that's not the case, thank you again, everybody, for being here, sharing your numbers, sharing experience in the group, and I will see you soon. Take care. Keep coming to the calls. You're brave diving in here, and props to you. You're doing the hard work. I'm proud of you, ladies. And if you have questions between the sessions, you can always post in the Facebook group too. We coaches are around, we're answering questions.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Take care, guys. Good work, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.